Hi there guys, here I am for another video, and this video is I'm not gonna do this like every month, because there's gonna be months that I've never seen in movies in theaters. But in the month of June, I've seen a lot of movies in the theaters. Yeah, I like going to the movie theaters. Yeah, it's an enjoyable experience. Yeah, and yeah, it's different. It's different than being at home, putting a movie in and watching it. It's different. I've been observing it, but yeah, I see a lot of them, mostly comedies, and yeah, um, um, I I don't know what the fuck happened, but apparently I didn't get a reply, but it's nothing. Sorry. But anyways, I'm gonna be talking to you about the movies that I've seen in theaters. In the month of June, and yeah, because that's how much killer I am. Because I'm a killer, and no, I'm not. I'm just a poor boy who, yeah. Anyways, I'm just skimming through, just in case if any of them are May titles. Okay. Now it's time. The first, okay, I'm just gonna do it in chronological order of release. Okay, I've seen The Purge. The Purge was actually, I really enjoyed The Purge. I thought it was really good. Um, to me, it's one of the better house invasion films, and it lived up to what it to me, maybe not to other people, but it lived up to the great concept it had, where crime's all legal throughout the whole entire United States. And I thought the concept and the setting were perfect together. And it would if for me, I would have preferred if there was like this cop who lives in the United States of America, who didn't know shit about the purge, but there's this cop who walks into came to America while the purge is going on, and thought that he was being a good guy, taking down the crime. But in reality, near the end, he finds out that all crime is legal throughout that night, and then he, in reality, looks like a dumbass. I thought that would be a better concept for the purge, but to me, I think that the setting and the whole atmosphere, I think a house invasion film with the concept is not, it wasn't disappointing for what the concept was to me. I just think that it would have been a far superior idea. Maybe when they do the Purge 2, maybe they'll do it, use my idea. I think that's a better fucking idea. Okay, I saw This Is the End. I've done a review for it on this channel, but who gives a fuck? I'm just gonna re-review it. This Is the End was a fantastic film. I really enjoyed it. It was a great comedy. The concept was, I don't know, it might have been already used, but to me, I think it was original. I thought it was original, and I thought it was this year's Cabin in the Woods. So again, This Is the End was a good movie. Oh, yeah, and I've seen The Hangover. Oh yeah, that's a May title, but I seen it in June. The Hangover 3. And I really enjoyed The Hangover 3. I thought it was a funny movie. Funny movie. It was way different than the previous two entries, which is good, which was good. I loved the first Hangover. The first Hangover was a really funny movie. I'm a big fan of Zach Galifianakis, and hey, thought the first Hangover was a great movie. The Hangover Part 2 was a horrible fucking movie. It was just tried its best to be the topper, the big old the big old boss in the scenario, but in reality, it just felt flat. It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny, but it was just like an untamed, immature version of The Hangover. The Hangover 3 brought everything full circle. It was just a good movie. The thing is that it kind of copped out by copying the other Hangovers, which with Doug getting kidnapped is like, why? I think if you're just gonna be doing that, why don't you just fucking kill Doug if you're gonna do that? It isn't. He's obviously just there to be taken away or not being used at all. It would be nice if they made a Hangover 4 with just Doug and Phil. And if you don't know who Phil is, he's a character played by Bradley Cooper. I think that a Hangover Part 4 with Stu, out on a business trip, and Alan gets killed, and then it's up for Phil and Doug to avenge the death of Alan. I think that would be a good Hangover Part 4. It just felt like they copped out in a few instances. I wish that they would just either make that film or just make a movie just all about Doug. Just have Doug in it and make up for all the previous cop out behavior or whatever. World War Z. I've seen World War Z. At first, I was really anticipating this release of this film. I thought that it looked good. Fuck yeah, World War Z. And then after a little while, I lost it. Because, hey, this year I see a shit ton of good movies coming out. Things that look good. Maybe they're improving the trailer quality by making them look thrilling and good, but nothing that really gets me in anticipation. This year is just things that, oh, that looks good, and just walk away. Nothing that makes me go like people were all horny for the Evil Dead remake or whatever. But yeah, I'm just nothing out there that really excites me. And then the latest one was The Heat, and The Heat was pretty funny. It had a few funny instances. The other comedies that I watched this month, like Hangover 3, Hangover 3, and This Is the End truly have, like, they made me, like, laugh a lot. This Is the End made me laugh more than The Hangover, but Hangover 3, but The Heat didn't really make me laugh. It just had a few funny instances, but it wasn't like, ha ha ha, like This Is the End. And Hangover Part 3 was just like a grin. Yeah, but ultimately, that's a lot of movies, like The Heat, The Purge, This Is the End, Hangover 3, World War Z. That's like about 6 movies. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with math. But yeah, I've seen 6 movies in this month in theaters. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna, for hell's sakes, I'm just gonna go throughout July's releases and see if there's anything that really grabs me, because whatever. I know I'm gonna see The Lone Ranger eventually, because my pops is all fucking horny for that movie, because he's like, oh my god, the fucking Lone Ranger, and I'm like, whatever. It's just like, all Western movies to me are really pointless now. 2012 brought the ultimate to these two subgenres of anything. Brought the end to the Cabin in the Woods movies with Cabin in the Woods, and it brought the end of the Westerns with the Django Unchained. There's no movies that are ever going to top those two films. After those films release. So westerns and Cabin in the Woods movies are pointless now. But whatever. But yeah, he wants to see the Lone Ranger because he loves them westerns, and that's his thing, and I ain't gonna be hating on it. And he loves the show, and it looks interesting. I'm not interesting from a viewpoint of, I've seen some of those Lone Ranger episodes when I was really young. I think I own some of those crappy DVDs that come like from Timeless, and I don't know, some like you just signed out some paperwork and you get these DVDs that have like the terrible like gasoline smell to them, whatever. That, yeah, got Pacific Rim, which I don't really care for much. So what is Guillermo del Toro? What the fuck ever. And then you have Grown Ups 2, which, like, the first Grown Ups was decent. It was funny. I liked it a bit. But there's plenty of other films that deserve sequels, and this one, The Hangover Part 2, just looks like it has, Grown-ups 2 just looks like it has generic fucking comedy bits that aren't appealing to me. I'm sorry, I'm being a little bit cynical there, but yeah. Got The Conjuring, so we got The Conjuring for all those James Wan nuts who think this looks good. Oh, but come on, look at that trailer. Seriously, they used like a hand clap to scare somebody. That's almost as bad as the Nightmare on Elm Street remake where Nancy's in the closet, then Freddy Krueger pops out and says, "Boo." Same quality, but people are gonna love it because James Wan directed the first Saw. Some overrated movies. The only one that he was good in was Death Sentence. Better than that, I don't really care. R.I.P.D. Actually, R.I.P.D. looks good. It looks it looks amazing. It looks amazing. I really am in anticipation for R.I.P.D. Red 2, I couldn't really care. I thought the first Red was horrible. It disguised itself as a action film, but in reality it was like a drama and a whole bunch of other things. I don't really care. Got the Wolverine, which I hope that doesn't discount the Wolverine origins, whatever. But whatever, I don't really care. Got the Smurfs 2. I might check out the Smurfs 2 because it's something special. You know who is in the Smurfs 2. Smurfette. You know.